Welcome to another video, and you might be wondering, how did I get this beautiful mate? Well, it's going to be in the store soon, and I just couldn't wait, so I called my uncle at Konami, and he gave me a Toad mate. So, you know, in celebration of Toad mate coming to the game, I am playing Paleozoic Toads with Runicks, which is a very interesting deck, and definitely a challenge to play, so check out these games and see how you like it. Opponent's going first, they're playing Mirror Jade. We got Grey Hand with Reasoning. Now, we're not doing anything janky with Reasoning, this is literally just to get our frogs. Hopefully mill some cards. We got super unlucky with this Reasoning. Opponent guessed 10, which is wrong. Very nice try, opponent, but you failed the test. We get Frog for free. Now, this will let us make, with no disruption, a nice little level 2 XZ. But the idea with Reasoning is you hopefully mill a bunch of Paleozoics and Runick spells, but we just got super unlucky. Frog was on top of our deck. He was just so excited about the new Toad mate. Opponent also going to Ash Blossom, so you know what? No free Toad. You could have Ash Blossom the Reasoning, opponent, instead of the Frog. That was a ballsy play. Alright, well, let's activate Runick Slumber. Try and get our field spell, but opponent gonna negate, or not negate, but activate Max C and make our lives difficult because now they're gonna be drawing cards. So we don't really want to do any unnecessary summons. Let's search for the field spell, discarding that Trap Trick. What opponent has Solemn Strike? You know what? It's okay. This deck can play through Disruption. We got lots of action still. Keep in mind, Huggin, not once per turn. So we got another Runick spell. Let's just activate another one. Get ourselves a nice little Huggin. Opponent, very rude. You're gonna banish our Frog. That's okay. We were not actually gonna XC. Would have liked to have the Frog return a hand, but the plan here was just to summon Huggin and get the field spell, draw 3, and pass. But opponent gonna banish our Frog. Very rude. Let's get the field spell here and do a nice little triple pot of greed. We're not doing anything important here, just banishing some random cards. And then we're going to draw 3. Nice little draw 3. If Reasoning filled our graveyard, you get the draw 3 real easily. But, you know, can't always have what you want. Let's set 2 Paleos right here. Pass to the opponent. Opponent used their Mirror Jade last turn, so they can't use it this turn. Not activating the Fallen Albaz, just normal summoning it. And activating Brain of Fusion to make the Lubellion, but not activating the Lubellion either. Going straight to battle, killing the Huggin. Now, Huggin's going to go back to the extra deck, and we're not going to take any chances here. Don't want any unnecessary damage. Let's flip that Mirror Jade face down, stop him from activating his effect next turn, and stop him from attacking. And we get a nice little Paleo. Now, fun fact about the Paleos, they are all immune to monster effects. So, if we pop this Mirror Jade, we don't get popped. Opponent got a nice little Pot of Avarice, got their own Pot of Greed, and they adventured, but why didn't they search for the adventure spell? Well, you'll see, when we banish cards randomly on our first banish, we banished their one copy of Faithful Adventure, so Adventure is permanently offline. We would have been able to pop it with the Oleonides, but we luckily just randomly banished it, so showing off the incidental effect of the Runicks, being good. Let's make a Huggin. Yeah, nice little draw 1. We draw another Oleonides. Gotta learn my Paleo names. These are all based on real animals, by the way. We're gonna activate Runick Tip, get ourselves a nice little Flashing Fire, do some more incidental banishing. Flashing Fire gonna pop that Mirror Jade, and we're gonna make the Paleo boss number 1, after our Pot of Greed. You're gonna see they're gonna wipe the field. You're like, oh no, you're gonna lose your Huggin. Nah, we ain't gonna lose nothing, because we're gonna XC into Opabinia. Opabinia is unaffected by monster effects just like all the other Paleos, and he lets us activate our Paleo traps from hand. So let's activate the Pikea. Pikea is going to let us discard a card to draw 2 cards. Nice little mini, almost a Pot of Greed there. And we're skipping the battle phase. All our cards can now be activated from hand, so that's pretty sweet. Let's activate Trap Trick. We do not want Opabinia getting killed, so we're going to get some more Paleos on the field. Pikea on field, and we're going to get ourselves a Canadia, and we get to activate Canadia. That's another trap activation, so we get another Paleo, get that Oleonides back on the field, and you're starting to see, this is the power of the Paleos. We are taking over with our prehistoric monsters. Opponent is going to hit one of our Paleos with the adventure token. We got more where that came from. Runick Dispelling to draw 1 and make a Moonin to gain some life. Not necessarily the best play, because we could have had our battle phase next turn if we didn't do that, but you know what? That's fine. We don't need our battle phase. We're in control of the situation. Let's make our boy Toad, the pet, finally in action. Gonna detach to get another Paleo. Paleo gonna let us discard to draw 2. Activate a Canadia from the graveyard. I don't see many people playing Paleo in their lists. I've looked online at people playing Paleos. They don't play Paleo. It's a good one. You discard, draw 2. This is great. Alright, people play this card. Well, let's activate, banish some cards, get a nice little draw 1. We already skipped this turn's battle phase, so I might as well get some free cards out of it. Let's go to the end phase. Gain some life. Pass to the opponent. We got Spell Pop, we got Toad Negate, we got Dynamicish, and we got all of our all our spells in hand, all our Runick spells to keep the game under control. Opponent gonna attack into the Swap Frog. We are gonna let that happen, but we are not gonna let our Toad die. Banish the Lubellion. Keep our Toad alive. Get ourselves a nice little Paleo. Dynamicish on the field. Opponent activates Aluber. We're going to negate Aluber's effect to summon himself and negate our Toad's effect, but opponent has Called by the Grave. Poor Toad. We only have one copy of Toad because Konami hates him. And now he's getting banished by Called by the Grave, so Toad is offline. So that's very sad. And Toad's negate doesn't happen, so they get the Aluber. We're going to be able to kill another Paleo, but our life points are very high right now. We're going to win on life points. Opponent sat in the back row. Let's get popping. No surprises here. Get ourselves another Paleo on the field. Don't want him activating, making a Chimera. Popping it. It was another Call by the Grave, so nothing to worry about there. Gaining some life. Opponent's got a lot of cards banished here. They're playing Zodiac's interesting. Well, let's finally get this game under control. Make the... I'm not going to try and say this one. Animal Raucous. There we go. Search for a Morella using the Opabinia. Go to battle phase, and this can pop once per turn. It's not a quick effect, but it is a once per turn during either player's turn effect. Not sure what the difference between those two is. I'm sure it matters. Let's rank up Pixie, turning our Opabinia into a Downward Magician into a Zeus with 2 materials. Zeus effect is really great with Paleos because all our Paleos aren't affected by monster effects, so Zeus sending everything to the graveyard doesn't send our Paleos. Very cool. We get a Morella. Opponent is going to activate Fallen Albaz. We're going to respond with our Paleo boss monster. Pop the Albaz. That will stop him from fusing. He was going to discard a card, fuse using one of our monsters. But if he's popped, you can't do it. Let's activate the Morella, get a Paleo on field, and our opponent has no cards. And they're staring down a lethal board of Paleos and Zeus. And this is Paleo Runick's full power. Nothing to stop it. Look at our life points. We got over 1,000 or 10,000 life points. We're just going crazy. Let's attack directly with our Paleos or lethal damage. All right, very sweet. Now I will have the full deck list at the end of the video if you want to check out Paleo Runicks. But before we do that, let's go on to the next game. All right, just playing with our Paleo Runicks. Well, we got the Frog Pet. Let's activate Swap Frog. This is really bait for Ash. Frog, we don't care about setting up Frog that badly, but we'd really like to have their Runick field spell. So we're going to activate. Opponent, very rude. It's going to Maxi. Everyone Maxi in. We don't care that much. We're going to make our opponent draw maybe 2 cards. Let's get the Huggin. Get the field spell. Discarding. Got a discard here. We're getting greedy because we're hoping that we're going to be drawing cards. And if we're going to be drawing cards, then we'll be able to use Paleo, but opponent has the Chaos Hunter, the anti-Runick tech. And not only is this an anti-Runick tech, it also stops us from banishing our Ronin Toad. We do get the field spell though. And we are still going to be able to draw because even if we can't banish, we can still activate the effect to summon a monster. So we get the Opabinia on field. We can activate our Paleos from hand. Opponent. Activating Pot. Now we're going to go for it now. We could have done it on our turn. That probably would have been better. But you know what? We're probably not going to be able to activate our Runick spells while this Chaos Hunter is on field anyway. So let's get drawn. We got a Morella and a Paleo. Paleo going to let us discard the Morella. Special summon a monster. and discard to draw 2. If we draw Paleo, we might be able to stop this. Unfortunately, we do not. Our Opavinia is dead, and our opponent is set for back row. This is some nonsense. We can't activate our Runick spells. Let's swap Frog. Opponent, Dogmatica punishing. We do get a nice little Paleo activation from the graveyard though. We can activate in response to our opponent's traps too. So Paleo coming back onto the field. Opponent popping our Frog. We still get the Frog effect to send the Ronin Totem, but as you remember, we cannot banish cards because of Chaos Hunter. Opponent gonna pop the field spell and Dimensional Barrier declaring XZ, so we can't summon. Now, we do have 4 monsters on field, and you'll see from this extra deck, we do not have anything we can do with links. I did modify this extra deck to have more link monsters, so take a look at the deck at the end of the video and I'll explain what to put in, but right now we're locked out of plays. We got no plays. We got no plays. We can't exceed. Very not cool opponent, popping our field spell. We're going to set some back row and pass the turn. Alright, pass it to our opponent. And we got a lot of stuff, but none of it's very strong. This Chaos Hunter is going to rip our board apart one by one. Takea sent to the graveyard. Interestingly, sent to the graveyard because he can't be banished. Paleos banish themselves when they go to the graveyard normally, but because of the Chaos Hunter, they're all going to the graveyard instead. So we got at least infinite Pakeas. Let's pop one of our opponent's back row, but it was waking the dragon, letting our opponent summon a lovely Lady of the Labyrinth. That was not ideal. Probably not the best pop right there. Draw another Reasoning. But let's make the... I really got to learn this name because this one's really good. Anomalocaris. 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 Alright, we're making an Anomalocaris here. Gonna pop the Chaos Hunter, and now we are free to banish cards. Let's activate Reasoning. Opponent knows now to name level 2. But it doesn't matter, because we're just sending cards to the graveyard. We're getting mass value. We can also activate our Ronin Toad now. Special summon. Link off into a Water Charmer. And why do we do that? Because I want my extra monster zone free. Is that the best way to clear the extra monster zone? No. But it is a way. Now, I was making a bit of a mistake here. I thought... Pay attention. I thought Doggo Boy, Runick Gary, I thought you had to discard a card to activate his effect to get the field spell back from the graveyard, but you do not. He doesn't need to discard. You just summon him, get the field spell back from the graveyard. So I should have done that on our turn, or on my turn. But you know what? We're learning the deck. Like I said, it is very difficult to play. There's a lot of decision points. You got to be very careful. We're going to pop this lovely lady with the Anomalocaris. Gonna get popping. Lovely lady is in the graveyard. Opponent setting. Let's activate the destruction. Pop that card. Dogmatica punishment? I don't think so. We don't want to get punished. Banishing a nice Lord of the Heavenly Prison. Don't want our opponent having that. Now let's Runick tip. Get the tip, just the tip. Special summon the Gary. Get the field spell back. And pass the turn. Alright. We got pop. Let's see what we can do here. We're holding this in hand because we don't have another spell to activate draw. We're going to activate the Morella here, get some Paleos on the field. We still got the pop. This can pop any card, not just monsters. Sending another Paleo to the graveyard. Opponent. Setting the field spell. Well, let's pop that field spell. Detach. Pop the field spell. And his effect, because a trap went to the graveyard, we actually get to mill a card. If it was a trap, we get to set it on the field. But we just sent a Runick card to the graveyard, not the end of the world. Now we draw a Runick spell. That is very good. But before we do anything else, let's make our boy. It's pet time. Get Toadin. Toad gonna protect. He protect. He attack. Let's get that Runick Fountain. Go to battle. Attack with the Anomalocaris. And let's rank up. Downer Magician into the Zeus in defense mode. We'll be able to clear our opponent's entire field, and we're looking down at lethal damage potentially. Opponent only have 3,400 life points. Let's Toad. Detach. Make the Des Frog. aka Duke Frog. And we still got our battle phase. Let's get to attacking. Attack over this Max C. Get our opponent down to only 400 life points. Paleo Frogs doing work here. through another trap deck. Opponent gonna Heartbeat Feather Duster. You know what? That's fine. We let that happen. I don't care about no Heartbeat Feather Duster. We still got Toad online, and opponent knows it's over. Toad negate. Stop them from interacting with our board, and we were gonna get lethal damage. All right. That was pretty sweet. Let's go on to the next game. Alright, interesting hand here. We got Swap Frog. We got the Runick spells. Let's try and bait an Ash with the Swap Frog. Swap Frog gonna send Ronan to the graveyard. And now let's activate Smite and Storm. Get the huggin'. Get huggin'. We're gonna discard a Paleo here. But opponent has the Imperm, choosing not to negate the Swap Frog. They knew something was up. Their Imperm is gonna activate our Paleo on the graveyard though, so we do get another body, which is not bad. Now we have the option here. We could go into the Animal Icarus. That would be pretty cool. We could also just make a Toad here, and Toad is pretty good. So I think Toad is probably the way to go. Well, let's make the Toad. We're gonna activate Runick Tip, get the field spell. And we're not going to activate the field spell unless we have another Runick in hand to start activating to draw. So we're just going to leave that field spell in our hand, set the Canadia, and pass to our opponent with negate, flip, Duke Frog. Opponent having the Feather Duster now, always a challenge here. Do we negate with Toad? Well, we don't know what our opponent's doing. Feather Duster, popping our Canadia could take away our disruption. Yeah, so I mean, we're going to negate. We're going to steal the Feather Duster. We still get to keep our Frog online. Our Toad is on field still. So hopefully opponent can't do too much. Keeping the Canadia might disrupt them if they normal summon something. But opponent also has Raigeki. Raigeki gonna wipe our field, and not sure why the Huggin didn't activate there. Huggin says if another card would be destroyed by card effect, you can banish this card instead. So why didn't Huggin activate? You tell me. I don't actually know. Do we need the field spell to be on the field? It doesn't say that. It just says if another card would be destroyed, you can banish this card instead. Maybe because it was going to be destroyed as well? I don't know. You tell me. Alright. Toad coming back. But opponent has Call by the Grave. What was this hand? Feather Duster, Raigeki, Call by the Grave? This is some nonsense. Opponent is pulling off probably the God Draw. Also, Huggin is sleeping on the job. Huggin gonna go back to the extra deck. Life Twin, Kisa Kill summoning. We are gonna flip that face down, stop our opponent from doing any link summons, get the Oleanites, but we've activated Runick spells. So we don't have our battle phase. If we had our battle phase, we could go and attack over these two Live Twins with our Paleos, but we do not have that option. We already lost our battle phase, so let's Ronin Toad. And our Toad is gone. This is very sad. We have no battle phase, so we can't go into Zeus with the Centuria. I don't really know what other options we had. I was thinking about this. What else could we have done? We could have made Opabinia, but we don't have any Paleos in hand. We would have been using a Paleo Trap. That actually probably would have been the right play. Go and, oh yeah, that would have been the right play here. So what we should have done, instead of making this, because we can't attack, is we should have gone into Opabinia. Opabinia could have searched for a Paleo Trap card, and that would have given us more interaction for our opponent. Making the Sky Cavalry Centuria, probably not the right play here. Like I said, this deck, very difficult to play. We're going to flip this Live Twin face down, get ourselves another Paleo. Paleo online. Get the Canadia back. Flip that face down, but opponent has the Live Twin home. They're going to get another Live Twin. Discarding. You saw that discard there. It was a Lightning Storm. So opponent had more interaction for our field if that Raigeki didn't work. Evil Twin gonna summon, and opponent pretty much has free reign to do their whole combo now. They get the Evil Twin, Kisa Kill from the graveyard, draw a card, make the Trouble Sunny. They get to attack, pop a card on the field. They're gonna attack into our Canadia, split apart into the two monsters, pop a card on the field. This is not ideal. This is very bad. Opabinia probably could have stopped this. If we just got another Canadia or a Vanish effect, that would have been pretty smart. So, misplaying here, and it's definitely costing us. Trouble Sunny going to be very difficult to out because of its effect to dodge. Now, let's try our best here. Activate the Runick Bound. We're doing this. We got to be very careful about the order here. So, we know opponent can pop, and they're going to try and pop this field spell, so we're going to be careful. What we're going to do, wait till they activate. We need this to be resolved, so its effect to draw will activate here. So wait, be patient. Okay, chain order, that resolves. Now new effects go on the chain. Opponent gonna target, pop, draw a card with the other evil twin, and now we activate. We're gonna make the Huggin. Huggin will protect our field spell from getting popped, and now we get to draw. Get a nice little draw 3. So we're not out of this yet. Huggin gets summoning. Huggin don't betray us this time. Huggin gonna banish itself. There you go. Draw 3. Nice little draw 3 here. And pass to the opponent. Opponent is activating or summoning a live twin, and we're probably in trouble here. Now, I maybe should have been more reactive. I tried to be proactive and disrupt their board before they did anything by activating this trap trick, but I could have just waited, let our opponent set up before activating this. So now we're setting all our, we're kind of shooting our action all right now. We're getting our Paleos online. We're going to flash and fire, pop the keys to kill, banish the cards, activate Runick Slumber to draw. But opponent is going to start resummoning their evil twins, kind of undoing what we've accomplished. We get the Moon and the Runick Wings. Will stop our opponent from targeting our cards. We do get to draw 2, but we're not in a great spot. We do have the Dynamicious still. Dynamicious can activate, banish a card on field, but opponent just has so much action. They even can send a card to the graveyard with the evil twin Trouble Sunny, getting rid of our Moon in. Exactly why we probably should have been patient. Opponent summoning the evil twins. Boss monster. We're going to banish that, get another Paleo on field. But we're now out of action. We are fully out of action. Opponent has 2 evil twins on field, which means they're going to be able to make the Trouble Sunny again. And look at us. We had to sack down all of our cards. That didn't really matter though. All we got is one Paleo boy. Opponent going into trying to pop our, I don't know why they tried to pop the Illuminati's here. They could have just popped the Fountain. Pop in the Paleos doesn't work because they're unaffected by monster effects. Opponent got the Sunny Snitch, searching for more evil twins. That was not necessary though. Trouble Sunny is going to be able to do it on its own. Going to battle, attacking over our poor Illuminati's. Going back underground, buried under layers of sediment with all of the other extinct animals. And looks like we got extinctified. Alright, you know what? That's okay. Made some misplays there, showing off the power of the deck. Make sure you gotta, if you're playing this, you gotta be careful. You gotta make sure you make the right plays. Yeah, so there you go. Well, let's go on to the next game. Alright, we do one more game here. We got Runick Tip, we got the Fountain. Opponent's going first though. Pot of Extra, gonna make him draw 2. Very nice little Pot of Greed, and we're playing against birds. Well, interesting. Birds, you know, evolved from dinosaurs, and we're playing pre-dinosaur monsters. So we got the whole evolutionary chain here. Opponent summoning the M-Pen, and they're going to keep doing bird combo. So let's fast forward things here. Normally bird combo just ends on M-Pen and a spell, but opponent's still going. They're searching for the map, adding their birds back to hand, activating the map to special summon more birds. Alright, opponent is going for it. They're going to make even bigger bird board. Adding some birds back to hand, and are they going to make a second M-Pen? M-Pen not once per turn, so they do get to search again. All their birds back in hand. And let's see if we can outcompete. I'm not sure why opponent did that, just shuffling their own monster into the deck. Do you know what opponent was doing there? Please explain it, because it seemed like that was not a great play. Well, let's start by activating the field spell. Opponent gonna start doing bird things. Let's activate the tip. We're gonna try and negate. So what we're gonna do, search for the negate here with the Runick Tip, get the freezing curses. Opponent gonna summon their bird. Bird is gonna search for some interruption, but we already actually banished the card they put on top of their deck. The Mega Monarch is banished forever, so they're not getting that back. Let's negate the Eaglet effect anyway. Maybe they got a second one. Banish some more cards. Do a nice little draw 2. Banishing their unexplored winds. Not sure how many copies of that they play, but we get to Pot of Greed. We got a handful of Paleos and a Reasoning. Let's start Reasoning here. Opponent can do more bird things. Luckily, the birds got their barrier statue banned, so they won't be able to lock us into wind monsters. Level 1. Now, this is what Reasoning's supposed to do. Banish a ton of cards. Just get us 1,000 points of value in the graveyard. We're going to be drawn forever. We got all our Paleos in there. This is beautiful. This is what Reasoning should do. Alright, there we go. And perfect. We hit the Swap Frog. Swap Frog going to send to the graveyard a Runick Toad. Opponent is searching with Rabina and adding birds back to hand. But they didn't get to search for their big bird. So hopefully they don't got anything to summon. No tribute summons. And we'll be doing good. But opponent searching for DD Crow. Interesting. Did not know that the birds could search for DD Crow. That is a little annoying. It means they'll be able to banish our Ronin Toad if we send it to the graveyard. So I chose, instead of sending Ronin Toad, I chose to send the Swap Frog. Because DD Crow is just going to banish our graveyard anyway. Try and Ronin Toad. Alright. Let's Swap Frog. Return him to hand. Set 1,000 pieces of back row. And let's start using our Paleos and our Runick spells in the graveyard to get value, draw cards, banish our opponent's monsters. Opponent's gonna try and Feather Dust to the board. I don't think so, opponent. Let's get Huggin. Huggin gonna protect. Huggin protect. Protect our Paleos from extinction. Instead of banishing, destroying all our cards, they get Huggin. And we get a nice little triple pot of greed. An opponent not willing to wait to see the value. They know we got too much value going on in the graveyard. And they're done. Alright, very beautiful. Great last game. Let's go on to the deck list. Alright, here we go. So here is the full deck list. I'll just start by showing you the Frog package. I am running Dupe Frog. So here we go. Frog package, triple Swap Frog, Ronin Toad, Dupe Frog. Just get our Frog engine going on. We have triple Reasoning. This is, as you saw in those games, to fill our graveyard with nonsense. And hopefully special summon a Swap Frog. We got a single copy of Runick Fountain. If it gets destroyed, you can just summon it back or get it back to the hand with Gary. Like, I don't know. One Runick Field spell seems fine. Try the deck with more if you think it's worth it, but one I think is fine. We're running triple tip, triple Flashing Fire, 2 pop special summon monsters, double Destruction, triple Freezing Curses. We got 1 Slumber, 1 Smiting Storm, 1 Golden Droplet, 1 Dispelling. And for the Paleos, we got triple Only Knighted, we got triple Canadia to flip monsters face down, we got double Pikea. Pikea is a card I don't see people playing as much. It lets you discard a Paleo card to draw 2 cards, and then it has the Paleo effect to summon itself from the graveyard. If we have the Opabenia on field, we'll be able to activate our Paleos from hand 2. It is searchable with the Opabenia, so the reason we're running it at 2 instead of 1 is because of Trap Trick. Trap Trick has a cost, you gotta banish a card. And then you set one with the same name, so there is no point to running a trap if you're not going to run it at 2 at least. Alright, triple Dynamicious. Dynamicious is the Paleo that lets you banish by discarding a card. We got 2 Morella. Morella sends a trap to the graveyard. There's even 1 Paleo I'm not running. This is the only Paleo I'm not running. Hallucigenia. Hallucigenia is the one that reduces your opponent's monster's attack. Triple Trap Trick lets you search any trap in the deck. In the extra deck, we got triple Huggin. I did spend my UR gems to get another Huggin. It's worth it. Huggin, very good, especially when we're using it to make level 2 Xyz. 1 copy of Moonin. Double Gary. Thought about triple Gary, but I never summon more than 2, so double Gary seems fine. Sky Cavalry Centuria. Normally what you do with this is you summon, attack, return a monster to opponent's hand, make Zeus. Didn't get to show that off, but we got him in here. Anomalocaris is our Paleo boss. If we get ever 3 level 2s on field using a Paleo as a material, that's going to be pretty great because you can detach material, pop a card on field once per turn. We got Opabenia. You saw how great Opabenia was, letting us activate our Paleo spells from hand. We got our boy, totally awesome. Rank up with Downer Magician into Zeus. We got a Nightmare Phoenix, IP Masquerena, and Access Code Talker. You saw some situations where IP into Access Code might be good. Not sure about Nightmare Phoenix, probably just here to use our Paleos, turn them from normal monsters into effect monsters to make access code, because he needs effect monsters. In the Paleos, even though they have an effect, it's not actually their effect, they're all normal monsters. So there you go. That's the deck. Hope you liked the video. Let me know what you think, if I should make changes to this, if you love Paleos, if you love Toad. Let me know down in the comments, and I'll see you next time. Have a good night.